I'm Gary.
This is Austin.
And we are Midwest Mics coming back at you live from the UClick TV studios right here inside Hy-Vee Arena. We opened the show with a little bit of footage there from the celebratory Chiefs Championship Parade last week on Wednesday. Since we've done our last show, the Chiefs are world champions, so that's pretty exciting. We did a show that morning live from P&L, and then I was able to be at the parade with UClick TV, and, it was an awesome deal. We watched the game together. It was a lot of fun. Chiefs are world champions, man.
Chiefs are world champions. But you know what? They I heard a lot of, chirping about how they should have been celebrating, and I agree. They should have all been wearing, on the parade day, they should have just been wearing suits and just, being quiet and not doing it, whatever. Yeah. A lot of people were giving a lot of crap about, having some beers and whatever, but that's what it's supposed to be. All these guys most of these guys are young, in 20s. They need to be celebrating, having a good time, and then it's back to work. I saw Pat Mahomes put out a Instagram on his Instagram story. He's back in the gym. I think he was in Vegas with Kelsey for a little bit, but back in the gym, back to work. So these boys get a little bit of time to celebrate, and everybody that's saying they shouldn't be going like that, needs to maybe take it easy. Take it easy.
You just won the highest honor in your profession, and I feel like there's nothing wrong, with them celebrating and having a few beers while they're on the parade floats.
It's 24.
Yeah, come on, man. Like you just won the biggest thing you can in your profession. You just won the Super Bowl MVP, so live it up, have a good time.
And the cool thing was the fashion that it was done. Well, I would have preferred a 50-0 blowout game and just been coasting the whole time. But they got our emotions going, and then the comeback in the fourth quarter was amazing. Just scoring the two unanswered touchdowns to come back and put that away. And Damian Williams had a nice performance too. Kind of I actually could have seen a case for him being MVP too. I thought Mahomes had a nice last quarter, but Damian Williams had a really nice game. Mm-hmm. And I saw something. It was the first running backs in the first running back Super Bowl to have over 100 yards and also a reception touchdown and a rushing touchdown,
wow,
which is kind of amazing. That. Yeah, amazing for an undrafted guy.
Yeah,
and somebody that was cut by Miami, which is kind of funny. So overall, it was awesome. It was a great game to watch. Got your emotions going, like they did in every single game or every playoff game they were in this year, where they got behind a little bit and then kicked it up and got it going and came together. So the amazing thing is, it's crazy. This team is insane when you look at some of the stats for the game. And if you didn't look at the score, you would have think San Francisco might have won that game, right? Mm-hmm. Pats got 2 picks, and then it turns out the Chiefs actually won by 11. So you can't always look at stats and just say who played better. But basically, the Chiefs just turned it. They hung around and they turned it on when it counted, when it mattered the most. So Super Bowl champs, just like I've been saying all year.
Yes, you have been saying it all year. We'll welcome in our first guest at this time, Coach Leon Douglas. He is the head football coach at North Kansas City High School of the Hornets. He was the Kansas City Chiefs Eric Driscoll Coach of the Year for 2018 season. And then this past year, he was the Kansas City Chiefs minority coaching intern. Was able to take part in that program in the fall of 2019, among other honors. But, Coach, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's great to be here.
Why don't you kind of start with just telling our viewers and our listeners, kind of a little more about you and where you kind of got your start in football.
All right. Well, I'm a native of Kansas City, Missouri. I started playing football in 7th grade, Boys and Girls Club down on 43rd in Cleveland. I played I played high school ball at Lincoln Prep right off downtown, and I played college ball at Missouri Western State University, played up there for 5 years. Then I got into coaching as a graduate assistant at South Dakota State University. Did my time there, did 2 years there under Coach Stiglmeyer. Then once I finished there, I came down to the Kansas City area and got on in the North Kansas City School District at two elementary schools, Meadowbrook and Maplewood Elementary. And then I was an assistant coach at North Kansas City High School under Chad Valadez, coached with him, and then he got an opportunity to move on. And I applied for the job, got the job, and I've been there ever since. Just completed my 9th year as head coach and my 11th as a teacher in the district.
In your 9 years there, you guys have had some success and kind of got that program, where you guys are one of the teams competing in the finals, of the districts every year and have a chance. Staley is kind of a buzzsaw, and, you guys run into them, but, you guys have made those games competitive here in recent years.
No doubt. Our area, we're blessed to say, since I've been there, we've played the state champion on our schedule, almost 75% of the time. Whether it was Staley, Fort Osage, it just, we're in an area of Kansas City where 5A football is pretty good.
Yeah.
We're blessed to have a team like Staley in our conference. Not only in our conference now, but for many years they're in our conference. But now they're always been in our school district, to where they push the culture and they push being excellent, working hard, and really giving you something to strive for. And that's what we've been able to do the last few years as far as close that gap. We're not by any means finished where we want to be in that process, but we definitely, I feel, have gotten closer to where they are. Have nothing but tremendous respect for Coach Light and his coaching staff and what they've been able to do. But we're definitely chomping at the bit to keep closing that gap.
Yeah, I was able to, I was up there for when I interviewed the Bulldogs, and, got to see kind of the stadium. First time I had seen some of the renovations there, and, see a little bit of the weight room there above the gym. And, the facilities that you guys have been able to put in are second to none, in my opinion, in the area that I've seen.
I agree. We are a school, one of the oldest schools in the Kansas City area, especially up north. We just completed a bond project to where, for the most part, our school is an entire brand new building that really circles around the football field. And so it's a great atmosphere for football and actually all athletics, because our facilities have gone from being something to hide to something to really just show off. And so we're actually in the process of taking steps to really closing our campus and making it to where it's more of a normal high school feel, as far as not having kids, passing between multiple buildings and going out for lunch. And so there's some things that we're doing that's making our school culture, taking it to another level. And so I think what we've been doing in athletics, not only in football but the other sports, is only going to continue to grow with the opportunity to create a better environment to educate kids.
Well, I'd say, Coach, congrats for being there for 9 years. That's quite a while to be at the same program. What are some of the steps or some of the things that you kind of put down as like a foundation to kind of build your culture that you want to have at that school?
I think first and foremost, it starts with what you're doing in the weight room. That's one of the things that gives you an opportunity to really to touch and to see your athletes on a consistent basis, not only during the school day but after school. And so we've really been able to get that solidified, and not only just focus on football, but really focus on all aspects of athletics, to get a kid to encourage them to be a multiple sport guy or girl, to get them to stay on pace and on track to graduate, and at the end of the day to get them to graduate and get an opportunity to continue their education as well as their playing career or whatever they want to do from that point on.
I would say that's a big-time common answer is weight room for sure. When we talked about guys, and we've talked to some other coaches on here, like Coach DJ that at Central.
KC Central, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the first things he spoke about when he's rebuilding that program. Was like, man, I got to get these guys in the weight room.
Yeah.
Got to get our strength up. So that's
and it translates to not only the athletic piece, but it really teaches young men and young women how to work. How to put the effort in, how to dedicate, and to become deliberate in how you're using your time to get better and be purposeful. And I think that aspect translates to in the classroom, whether you're taking time after weights or whatever to really dedicate to being a good student. So that's something that definitely translates.
Yeah, I always related to it teaches confidence and accountability, the weight room, because 225 is 225. Either you can push it up or you can't. And if you put in the work inside the weight room, then you're going to push that 225. And if for whatever reason you don't put in the work, you're not going to be able to do it. So it just teaches kids that if you try to take the easy way out, and as your coach, I might not be counting all your reps, but if you don't do them all, you're not going to be able to increase your bench. or whatever the lift may be. So just like in life.
And two, it's a catch-all activity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I say that, I mean you can have a kid that's one of the best athletes in the entire school. You can have a kid who just wants to do something after school so he doesn't have to go home and be alone. And so from boys to girls to athletes who are, you know, dominating their sport to just guys and girls who just want to participate and be a part of something, that's a great, you know, arena to really give them something to be a part of and aid their educational experience.
Yeah, and you know, also the positives to being in that weight room and, you know, being a part of a team sport, you know, whether it's football or whatever, you know, the academic piece to that those kids have to take care of and worry about too, because if you can't keep your grades up, you can't stay on that team. And so that piece also, you know, holds the accountability, and I know that's something you preach to your guys, you know, quite a bit.
Yes, sir.
So when, you know, we talked about some of the success and things that, you know, you have been able to have. What are some things that you are doing now to try to get that next step? You've raised the level, you've raised the bar, the expectation. What's the next step for you guys at North Kansas City?
Well, you know, right now, you know, starting about 6:45 a.m., you know, making PB&J sandwiches for some of our young men who need to gain some weight, just trying to increase their caloric intake throughout the day. We're really trying to just identify and support kids and really taking that next step in their commitment to their activities and their endeavors, you know, and understanding that, you know, it starts with your approach, you know, and really winning in all phases of your life. You know, definitely the classroom, dominating that right now, getting the best GPA you possibly could get.